Welcome back. I have David Teel with me, the one of the sports writers for the Daily Press. I appreciate you stopping by and talking to me. You're one of a dying breed. There's written print is kind of losing its glamour, although I love the paper.
Well, and I do too. I grew up holding it over the breakfast table every morning. But now we're an internet product too. We're online with blogs and hrvarsity.com and dailypress.com. We're on Twitter. It's not just a print product anymore. They keep us hopping now.
Tell me a little bit, because you've been covering sports quite a while on the peninsula. How long?
27 years. Came here in 1984, graduated from James Madison in 1981, and 3 years later I was here.
All right, and tell me some of the athletes that you remember coming through, because you have covered a lot of good athletes from what they call the 757 area.
Well, absolutely, and to me, the signature athlete will still always be Ronald Kerr. I mean, he was just in a class of his own as a football player. He was beyond exceptional as a basketball player and good enough to go to North Carolina in that sport. Obviously Allen Iverson isn't that far behind, but Ronald, what he did at Hampton with the winning streak and the 3 consecutive state championships in football and the state championship in basketball, to me is unsurpassed. Now, there are people who were here before I was who, gosh, go back to Leroy Keys and that era.
Right.
But Ronald, to me, will always be the iconic figure.
Right. And, a lot of people ask me who was the best one I saw, and I said, if you're just talking about high school, there's nobody can surpass Ronald Kerr.
No, and he did not have the college and professional career that perhaps a lot of people might envision. That was kind of a twofold thing. He was a 2-sport guy at North Carolina instead of focusing on one. Then he tore his Achilles playing football there. And I think a lot of us believe that had Ronald just focused on football, that the sky was the limit. But yet he was still good enough to go to the NFL, switch positions, and be a very good wide receiver for the Oakland Raiders.
Well, that tells you what kind of athlete he was. Now, as you were covering sports, did you just cover football and basketball, or did you cover them all?
No, I was part of our coverage teams on most any event, the professional golf tournaments that came through town. In 1996, I spent 3 weeks in Atlanta doing the Olympics, which was a thrill for me. I tried to get to as many venues, from ping pong to team handball to gymnastics to softball to baseball to tennis. Anything I could get to, because I knew it would probably be the only Olympics I'd ever cover. So I basically stayed up 24 hours a day and just went to every venue I could find.
How do you figure that we get so many good athletes from this area that go and excel not only in the college but on into the pros?
Well, and it's astonishing. This summer, the Peninsula will see its 4th Pro Football Hall of Fame inductee when Chris Hamburger goes in.
Right.
He'll join Lawrence Taylor and Henry Jordan and Dwight Stevenson. And that's just from the Peninsula. That's not counting the South Side, where you've got Bruce Smith and Lewis Creekmore, and that's just the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It truly is astonishing. We joke, is it the water? What is it? But I think there is a culture here of coaches and youth sports. It's valued here. Carl Francis's camp, which is what this event here tonight is all about. People come back here, they give back to the community, and it's all about paying it forward, and people remember their roots and they return, and I think that's part of the greatness here.
Yeah, and give just one real quick story about that. Milan Brown coaching up there, Holy Cross.
Right.
He said he got tickets from a guy from this area, did not know him, to go to a Boston Red Sox ball game.
How about that? Yeah, and Milan's in the game, and we've got so many coaches now.
Yeah.
T.J. Abraham is now the head women's basketball coach out at Radford, and Milan up at Holy Cross, and previously at Mount St. Mary's, and so many people doing well in the coaching ranks too.
I appreciate you taking time to stop by.
My pleasure.
All right, stay tuned for our next guest.